Hey babes, welcome back to the LVME Unbrkn podcast where we swallow the big pills, not the little ones. I am your host Mercedes and we are back. It's a new week. It's actually a Monday. I can't even believe I'm filming this on a Monday because when I tell you, baby be tired. I've been learning a lot. I learn a lot being on social media. Some things I see that annoys me, some things I see that teaches me, some things that, it's a crazy world on social media. But I came across this post, and this isn't too crazy, but I came across this post, and I'm not going to go super in depth about it, but someone was basically speaking on reinventing ourselves and how many times we're allowed to reinvent ourselves. At first I thought about it and I'm like, that should be a no-brainer, but it's not necessarily that for everybody. Nobody's wrong. Nobody's right. I try to remind myself of that every day, and I'm trying to pass that along too. I'm trying to remind people that everyone is just out here trying their best, and we're just all trying to make it. So I had to take myself back a little bit, wait, maybe they feel like they can only reinvent themselves a certain amount of times because of what their experience looks like or what their life looks like or whoever they have in their ear, what their support system looked like. But I wanted to speak from my perspective and just give my thoughts on it. To put it in a nutshell, babe, I think the amount of times that you are allowed to reinvent yourself is limitless. I just feel like, how could you not reinvent yourself so many times in this life, in this ever-changing life where you are constantly changing, the world around you is constantly changing, people are constantly changing. How do you not reinvent yourself? How do you not grow into a different person almost every week or every 2 weeks or however often you grow? Or however often you feel like you grow, because me personally, I think we grow every day. Somehow, some way, we grow every single day. But that's another topic for another day. But how could you not reinvent yourself in a world like this? I wrote down a couple of points that I actually wanted to touch on. But first, I want to give y'all this comparison that I heard, and it has something to do with the things that we go through and the things that we don't know we're going to go through. And so there was this quote, and the guy was basically saying the GPS will tell you where to go, how to get there, but it can't always. And I'm gonna just say it can't always, because there's certain things that it can tell us now today with all of the technology advances, but it can't always tell you what your obstacles are going to be along the way. The GPS can't tell you if an accident is going to happen right in front of your car before you reach your destination. The GPS can't tell you that somebody's going to run out into the middle of the road while you're driving by. The GPS can't always tell you that a bird is going to fly and hit your windshield. It can't tell you that at all. The GPS can't tell you that a rock is going to fly off of a truck and hit your windshield and crack it. So the GPS can tell you where to go and how to get there, but it can't always tell you the obstacles that you will endure along the way. And that's exactly how life works. We may have a plan. It could even be a step-by-step plan, but I can guarantee you, I'm 100% sure, not even 99.9, I'm 100% sure that your plan will not have your obstacles listed in it, because you don't know. You get what I mean? You just don't know. We won't know. That some of the things that we go through or that we have to go through eventually, they're inevitable. It's almost like you have to go through certain things to become a different person, to get to a different place in life, to, I don't know, get that new career position or whatever it is. So just keep that in the back of your mind when we talk about the reason that we have to reinvent ourselves so many times, and why there's no limit to the amount of times that we get to reinvent ourselves. Now, me personally, I probably reinvent myself multiple times a day. I'm kidding. But I find myself sometimes distracted with life. I overthink a lot. I'm an overthinker. I am not happy about that. I am trying my best. Okay. But I overthink a lot. And me overthinking sometimes can be so negative because it puts me in a state of mind of I'm not doing enough. I'm not where I'm supposed to be. I should be further. Like all these different thoughts that overthinking put in my head. And I realized in actuality that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. But overthinking overshadows that fact sometimes. And I can admit that I'm working on it. But I tend to get distracted by those things and I get off of my Zoom. All of a sudden, my daily routine is jacked up because I'm so distracted. I'm not focused. I'm too much in my head. So I'm just sitting in my room, not being productive, not working towards this or working towards that, or I don't reading like I said I would, or reading the Bible like I said I would, or there's just certain things that I need to do to get to the next level, or I feel like I need to do to get to the next level. And distractions in life sometimes throw you off those courses. So when you come to the realization that you need to get back on your Zoom, it's almost like you're reinventing yourself. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do now. This is what I'm gonna do different. This is how I'm gonna choose not to get distracted. This is what I'm gonna focus on to get rid of these thoughts in my head. Like, you're dang near reinventing yourself almost every day if you ask me. So there's no limit for me. I'm gonna keep on and on. I mean, we grow and we literally grow and change every single day. How could you not? Let's be honest. Like, how could you not grow and change every single day in a world like this? Like, it's impossible. You're not going to be the same person you were today in a year. You're just not. It's not going to happen. It's not. The only way that would happen is if you freeze yourself and thaw out next year. You're bound to change. Waking up every day, going out adventuring a new day. Who knows what's going to happen in that new day? It could be something amazing and something terrible. We don't know. But you're going to change in some way, shape, or form. And I wanted to point something out. This is something that I've learned about myself. There's so many different things that I've tried and wanted to try. I've been scared to try because of not having the formula on how to do it perfectly, keyword. And I've learned that you're not always going to get it right the first time. Hardly ever would you ever get it right the first time. Because if you did get it right the first time, every time, that would make you inhumane. Maybe you're one of those supernatural characters in this world, but you're not going to get it right the first time. Every time. So what does that cause you to do? Sends you right back to the drawing board. What are you doing? Learning something new. And what does that do for you? Grow you into another person. And what does that do for you? Causes you to reinvent yourself. Okay, I was this person yesterday because I didn't know this, that, and the third, but I'm this person today. Now I'm this person today because now I know this, that, and the third, and I'm unstoppable. And to add to that, just because I was doing it this way yesterday and decided that today this route is better to take than it was yesterday, just because you had that realization, it doesn't mean that your previous route was wrong. You just didn't have the best path forward yet. That could have been the best path that you could have had at that moment. This is a new day. So it doesn't mean that you were wrong. So don't beat yourself up about it. I know there's a lot of people that, oh my God, I've tried this so many times. Oh my God, I keep restarting. Oh my God, I don't think I'm ever going to get this. Oh my God, I don't think I'm supposed to be doing this. Do you know how many times I've said that to myself, trying to even do this podcast? Trying to even sit down and remove the fears out of my head and actually make a video, even outside of this podcast, maybe on my main YouTube channel where I'm vlogging and doing hauls and all that good stuff. Do you know how many times that has happened? It happens all the time. With me saying The number of times that you reinvent yourself is limitless. Let's talk about, really briefly, because I want to keep this video not too long. Let's talk about how we reinvent ourselves. Like, how do we even do that? And obviously, well, maybe not so obvious, but in my opinion, the first step of doing that is realizing that something has to change. Something new has to happen. You need to be doing something different to get a different result. And that, my friend, girl, that is self-realization. It just comes from self-awareness and not being stubborn and being willing to learn. Like, you have to sit there and humble yourself. You have to sit there and literally humble yourself and say, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Or yeah, this is not right. This ain't it. This can apply to you in any kind of way. There's so many different ways that this can apply to somebody. But the first thing you have to do is self-reflect. And when you self-reflect, now you know what the problem is. Now you know what you want to do different. Now you know what you want this to look like. Self-reflect and create a new vision. The very first steps in believing that you can even get to that place that your vision is showing you. The next thing you have to understand is that all these small changes that you make, they lead to the biggest transformations. My pastor actually spoke on this the other day. I got to see if I can find that note. But my pastor spoke on this the other day. And there was something that he said, and it was simple, but it was perfect too. Oh yeah, he said the smallest decision, this is exactly what he said. He said the smallest decisions create the greatest outcomes. And that, my friend, is so freaking true. You can literally change one small thing in your day. Like, maybe you don't make your bed regularly. Now all of a sudden you want to change life. So now you get up and you make your bed every morning, and it gives you a boost of energy. You come into the house after a long day and you see that bed made just waiting on you to get in it after a long day. When I tell you, that's probably one of the best feelings in the world versus coming home to something messy. Like, those, look at how small that change is. You have to realize that the smallest changes cause for the biggest transformations. Every small little tweak, unstoppable. Maybe you've got to stop and say a prayer. Maybe you're making yourself say a prayer a few times a day. Maybe you're choosing to make someone smile every day. Maybe you're choosing to call one family member every day. If you don't talk to your family often, like, all those things will create the biggest outcomes in your life and the greatest outcomes. Not even only the biggest, because some biggest outcomes can be kind of big, but some of the biggest and greatest positive outcomes in your life can come from those small transformations. And you also have to, and once you realize that, you also have to continue to want more for yourself. You have to always look for new learning opportunities and just take a risk on them. I believe that it's important for you to always look for new opportunities to learn so that you can continue to grow. You shouldn't shy away from them. You shouldn't be scared of them. And when you do find those new opportunities, when you do run into those new opportunities to learn, I think it's important that you take a risk on them, whatever that looks like. If I haven't learned anything, I've definitely learned that if you don't try, you gain absolutely nothing. Literally nothing if you don't try. But if you do try, and even if you try and not succeed, or try and it doesn't turn out exactly the way you want it, at least you tried and you learned something. So that's the least that would happen. You would at least learn. But if you don't try, nothing happens. So I think that's important for you to take with you. That's my take. That's my point of view on this subject. Please let me know how you feel about it. Let me know what you think. Maybe I'm right. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe it's nothing. I'm sure there's 1,000,000,001 perspectives on this. I have seen a lot from my end as well. And I would love to understand more. So feel free to comment your perspective, how you feel about it. If this has helped you, or if it's something that you don't agree with, then feel free to comment that as well. More than happy to have a conversation. I just would love to have different conversations about these subjects, because I feel like even in those conversations, we'll both learn something. If I'm willing to understand from your point of view and you're willing to understand from mine, I mean, how could you not learn? So yeah, that'll do it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for the input. Thank you for everything. We'll be back very, very soon. And I look forward to talking with you. Look forward to chatting with you. Until then, take care of yourself. Bye.